Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we are back to talk about more Bushido, Way of the Samurai. We are very near the end of the book. So let's go ahead and kind of hop into this, starting book 9. As I mentioned before, there's only 11 books. Yeah, this itself is only one thing. I may do. Yeah, book 10 is only a couple pages, so we may do book 9 and 10 together. Here we go. A samurai and his adulterous wife. A samurai once put his wife to the sword. When he returned home, he found his wife and retainer engaging in illicit intercourse in the bedroom. As soon as he entered the room, the servant samurai ran away into the kitchen. He immediately killed his wife with his sword. Then he killed one of the maids and explained the circumstances. He said to her, "Work together with me that everyone will think the death was caused by disease. Otherwise, it will bring shame on my children. If you hesitate, you shall die for complicity." She answered, "As long as you spare my life, I will arrange things so that no truth may be made known." Then she put some bedclothes over the body. Later, 2 or 3 requests were made for a doctor. The doctor was sent for under the pretense of being a dangerous illness. Then, eventually, a messenger was sent saying that since it was all over, i.e., the wife had died, there was no need for the doctor to have come. The samurai called the wife's uncle and persuaded him of the same fact. So he managed to pretend to the end of the death had been a natural one. Nothing else was ever revealed. Later on, he gave leave to the retainer. This happened at Yedo, I hear. And that's the end of book 10 of that section. Just a story of how one samurai dealt with infidelity. And it was the samurai's wife sleeping with one of his retainers, or her retainers. Now we are on book 10. It's got 2 sections. The first one is how not to get nervous. Before you attend an important occasion, apply spit to your earlobe and then breathe in deeply through your nostrils. Then go out. Kick every object you come across. This is the secret. Again, when you feel dizzy, apply spit to your earlobe and you will come to your senses instantly. Sounds like a bunch of baloney as far as applying spit to your earlobe and that, but breathe in deeply or kick every object you come across. That's called trying to gather yourself or releasing your rage. Though they seem two different forms of getting rid of your anxieties, your nervousness. So, last section we're going to read is how to win in a debate. When you argue in a lawsuit, you had better say, I will answer later after more consideration. Even if you have made your subject clear from the beginning to the end, you may do well to leave the room after making some excuse. Do this by saying, I will think about it some more. And it would be better to tell this and that friend the details of the lawsuits and to consult with them about your arguments. You might be favored by the wise, who then offer unexpected ideas. When you speak, yet let even the foolish people know in advance the point about which you will speak. Then public opinion will tend to work to your advantage. Or you might even talk to your servants or maid servants. Tell them something tell them something like this. Since my opponent attacks in such a way, I will defend myself in such and such manner. If you make such remarks repeatedly beforehand, then in the law court you can develop your point smoothly and fluently. You will use the right words and you will sound reasonable. But if you keep your ideas to yourself and begin to discuss them without previous consultation and resolution, then you are sure to slip and make blunders. At any rate, consultation is the key. If you cannot find a wise person, you'd better confer with your wife or children. While talking to them, you might come to some spontaneous decision. Long experience alone makes you come across the appropriate idea, or so Josie Mura told me. You had better say all that you have to say at once, because if you bring up something later, it will sound like an excuse. Also, you might remind your opponent of his statement and let him affirm the statement at intervals. In this answer, he cannot retract his remarks. After convincing him of your point, if you instruct him further to useful information and lessons in his own self-interest, then your victory will become a greater victory. This is a method consistent with propriety. Now, I don't think that's what you can do in modern courtrooms. Japanese courtrooms of the time, sure, I'll give you that. But modern courtroom, no. You can't just excuse yourself and say, let me think about this. But the more of the lesson about this is think about what you're going to say. Consult with others about your answer. And that's all we have left, page 191 to 196. So could probably finish it off in one more long video. But yeah. In other words, kind of just think about what you're going to say. Discuss it with others. So, speak it to others to let them kind of speak their mind, their thoughts on it before you actually put it out into an argument. Which unfortunately often happens in this world that you don't do that. But anyway, as always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone says something that you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, later.